For the last few days, we've been practicing different ways to add 2-digit and 3-digit numbers. Today, we're going to switch gears a bit and begin practicing subtracting numbers using expanded form. Let's read the problem together. Rosie has 419 pages in her drawing notebook. She has used 241 pages so far. How many pages are unused? Take a look back at the work that you already did. How did you represent this problem and why? Go ahead and say your answer out loud. I heard some friends say they represented using a bar model or a tape diagram. They put 419 up here to represent the total number of pages in the book. And then put 241 in one of our smaller parts because those were the pages she had used so far. We can write a U here to represent the pages that are unused. Why does this representation match the story? Go ahead and say it out loud. This representation matches the story because 419 is our total pages and 241 represents part of the pages that were used. We're solving for the other part, the part that was unused. I also have friends use an equation that looks like this. Why does this equation also match the story? Say it out loud. Yes, that's right. This equation also works because 419 represents the total pages, and we're starting with the whole here, and then subtracting the part that we know, the part that has been used so far. If we subtract the part we know from the whole, we can find the part that we need, which are the pages that are unused. Why did subtraction make sense here to represent the story and solve? Go ahead and say it out loud. That's right. Subtraction makes sense because we know the total and we know one of the parts. If we take away the part we know from the total, we can figure out that missing part. Now let's move on to your solving steps. How did you solve 419 minus 241? Go ahead and say it out loud. I heard friends say they used expanded form to subtract by expanding our whole and our part that we know. Let's try that. Notice how I'm being sure to expand 419 by place value. So that means I'm showing the value of each digit, 410 and 9. Then what did you do? That's right. We start subtracting in the ones place. 9 minus 1 is, yes, 8. What did you do next? That's exactly right. We start subtracting in the tens place. 10 minus 40. Does that make sense? Is that subtraction we can do? Evaluate. I see lots of friends shaking their head no. 10 minus 40 doesn't make sense because we can't take a larger value away from a smaller value. What do we need to do? Yes, we can regroup. How can we regroup? Say it out loud. That's exactly right. We can take 100 from the hundreds place and have 3 hundreds left and regroup it to the tens place so that we have enough to subtract. Remember, we're adding that 100 to the value that's already there. So we now have 110 in the tens place. Remind me, why did we regroup here and how did we do it? Say it out loud. That's right. We regrouped 100 from 400 so that we could add that 100 to the tens place so that we had enough to subtract. 400 became 300 and 10 became 110. When we are subtracting using expanded form, we always have to think, do I have enough to subtract? If we do not, we know we have to regroup. Let's keep subtracting. 110 minus 40 is, if you don't know that value right away, you can always count back or count up by tens to help you find the difference between 110 and 40. Let's start at 40 and count up until we get to 110. Get ready. Start with 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. How many tens did we count up? Yes, 7 tens. What's the value of 7 tens? Yes, 70. So 110 minus 40 is 70. I heard friends say that next, they subtracted in the hundreds place. 300 minus 200 is, yes, 100. What is our answer in standard form? Yes, 100 plus 70 plus 8 is 178. So we can say that there are 178 unused pages. As you move into the try one more, I'm looking for friends that expand their numbers to show the value of each digit, just like we did when we added using expanded form. But then they make sure that they are asking themselves, do I have enough to subtract in each place value? If you do not have enough to subtract, we must regroup from the next largest place value, the place value to the left.